Welcome, Coaches Roundtable. I've made Codi to my right, the Swami, George Abraham to my left, the Tiger, Albert Campman. Let's go to Spotlight. Top athletic performances, high school track. The Tri-State Track Coaches Association meet at West Mifflin for the boys. Michael Braun of Freeport took first in his 1600, 4:16:32. Pretty good, Albert.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Garvin Scarbeck of Seneca Valley, 400 meters, 49.58 seconds. And Kayvon Gardner, Newcastle, first in 100 meters, 11.04. Delathian Baines of Grove City High School, second in the shot, 56.7. And for the girls, Abby Satina of Pine Ridge, and she took first in the 300 hurdles, 45.52. Alea Morgani, Grove City High School, she took first in the pole vault. Aubrey Ertis of Seneca Valley, second in the pole vault. Mackenzie Magnus of Freeport, third in the pole vault. Josie Slasinski of Butler, she took third in the 400. And then Wildcat Invitational at Latrobe. The NA boys and girls, guys, they took home 15 medals.
No.
They took 6 gold, 6 silver, and 3 bronze. Gold medal winners for the girls. Isabella Costa won the 400 and the long jump. Lindsay Brenneman won the pole vault. And Aubrey Maxwell, the discus, and Taylor Neese, the shot. For the boys, gold medal winner was Jack Yatchenko. He won the shot put. And more high school track, dual, and tri meets. 3 event winners. Ava Reich of Slippery Rock High School, 100-meter hurdles, the 300 hurdles, and was on a 4x100 winning team. Casey Yeager, Slippery Rock High School, won the 1600, the 800, and on a 4x800 relay team. And Ashton, Grossman of Smonotol, school record in a pole vault, 14 feet 3 inches. I'm impressed.
Sweet.
That's a gutsy athletic event to do that.
That's pretty good.
Softball top performances pitcher Kennedy Brown of North Catholic, 16 Ks and a 5-0 shutout win over Central Valley, and she added 4 hits. Lexi the Flame Hames, Seneca Valley, 15 Ks in 6 innings, 11-1 win over Cannon Mac. Leave Harem, Seneca Valley, 4 RBI. Lily Vicari of Butler, 4 RBIs. Nicole Pasco, North Catholic, she belted a grand slam and drove home 6 runs. And Elena Techley of Knock, 4 RBIs. In baseball, pitcher Zane Pasek of Knock, 10 Ks and a 5-2 win over Highlands. And Danny Murray of Mars had 3 hits. In girls lacrosse, Ava Dreher of Freeport, 5 goals. Sophia Glass of Freeport, 5 goals. And Macy Edwards of Freeport, 4 goals. They scored 16 goals in a win. Now our high school baseball rankings, Pittsburgh Tribune and 6A, NA at the top, 5 and 2. Seneca Valley there, number 3. Butler 4. Butler started the week 6-0, had a 3-game series with North Allegheny, and they got swept in the 3 games. Does NA ever have a down year in baseball?
No.
And 5A, Pine Richland at the top, Shaler in there at number 2. And in 4A, it's Indiana at the top and tied for 5th at the bottom, North Catholic. Avonworth at the top in 3A, followed by Riverside. Avonworth's become a thorn to Riverside in baseball. Didn't they beat them last year in the WPIAL championship game? Elwood City, number 5. In 2A, Shenango at the top. And 1A, it's Sarah Catholic at the top. And in softball, in 6A, number 1, Hempfield. Number 2, Seneca Valley suffered their first loss, 3-2 to Pine Richland. Pine Richland's number 3, NA's number 4. In 5A, Penn Trafford at the top. In 4A, Knock at the top, Hampton number 2. In 3A, it's South Park at the top, Elwood City number 3. Pretty good year for Elwood City baseball and softball.
Yeah, playing well.
And in 2A, it's Neshannock at the top. And in 1A, it's Union. Hey, a basketball all-stars boys Post-Gazette, Class 4A, Jackson Bauman of Knock, 6'2 junior. Jason Fredericks of North Catholic, 6' junior. No surprise there. Those guys made our spotlight.
Yeah, he was on all the time. I saw Frederick.
Yeah,
I
like Frederick. Oh
really
gosh,
good.
I love him.
6A girls, Gracie Cato, Seneca Valley, 5'9 senior. Kate Gentile, Pine Ridge, and 6'1 junior. I'm looking this Gentile is going to get a Division I scholarship at her size.
Yeah, when you get that size, that's how it happens, Eddie.
Brady Wayner, North Catholic, 5'6". She made it in 4A. And in 2A, Tia Yelich of Rochester, 5'7" junior. Boys, PG, Player of the Year. Courtney Wallace, 6'3" senior, Neighborhood Academy, led them to the 2A championship. The only boys team from the WPIAL to win, and he's committed to Yale.
Yeah, he'll go to Yale start right away. I really believe that. I've seen him play twice, and he was the best player I saw all year.
And for the girls, PG Player of the Year, Natalie Wetzel, 6'3" senior from Peters Township. She led them to a WPIAL championship, 5A. She's committed to the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, they've had some
pretty good
women's teams over the years.
And Butler County Boys Player of the Year by the Butler Eagle, Josh Book of Slippery Rock High School, had a terrific year. And the Butler County Girls Player of the Year, Amelia McMichael of Butler. We saw her play. She's pretty good, too. All right, let's go to our stories of the week. Major League Baseball, the Pittsburgh Pirates, 6-11. They just scored 10 runs. They're going to have a parade in Pittsburgh. They're in last place in the Central, and the worst hitting team in the majors, team batting average of 190, just 9 or 10 home runs in their 17 games. They have struck out almost 150 times. Typical lineup. I don't know why this guy's leading off. Jack Swinski hitting 125. Tommy Phan is hitting 140, somewhere around there. Brian Reynolds off to his worst start, 200. Andrew McCutcheon forced into play in the outfield at age 38. He's hitting 250. Cruz in center field. How long does it take you to understand to throw to the right base, not throw behind a runner? How many games does it take for you to know that?
All I know is I've been on this show a long time, and it's my worst prediction I ever had. I thought they'd be going to be good this year. And guys like Swinski, who 2 years ago had 26. No.
Yeah.
Has went completely down the
Yes.
tube. So guys that I thought would step in and be good, and then Jones gets hurt as a pitcher. First of all, they don't spend any money, and then secondly, they don't have any luck behind it. But I've never seen this. Is probably one of the worst teams I've seen Pittsburgh have.
Frazier hitting 171. Valdez 150. Hayes is hitting 229. Canero, who they picked up for his power, he's hitting 71. He strikes out almost every time he's up to the plate. So you have a bullpen by committee.
There's another bedrock.
Yeah, and that may prevent Skeens from winning 15 games because he could leave a game leading 3-0.
Three times he'll do that for sure.
But as you mentioned, the shaky starting pitching after him with the injury to Jones. In the last 32 years, they've had 4 winning seasons. No playoff win since 2015. I thought that was the Steelers. It's the Pirates. All the while, the Pirate fans go to games. They keep adding to the coffers of Bob Nutting, expecting what? I remember teaching psychology. I used to give the students this little story. This lady said to her therapist, "Every time I give my dog a steak, he bites me." So, you get it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So you go to these Pirate games. Okay, if you want to go for the ambiance, you like
That's
the
why
scene.
my wife and I
Okay,
go.
Yeah.
but
That's why we go.
don't go expecting something to change.
No, we go because it's a night out for us and we enjoy a lot.
Yeah,
There's a better chance that General Custer and the 7th Cavalry were charging down a little bighorn before the Pirates win a division.
How clueless they are. He walks through the concourse opening day. He doesn't think anyone's going to say anything. Then he tears the Clementi wall down and puts an ad there.
And then these Bucko bricks.
Demolishes those bricks, yeah.
Let me ask you, like those Bucko bricks, you might put one in there for your Little League coach,
Yeah.
right? His name.
I have a
or
great
grandma.
friend did it.
Yeah.
And to throw those away?
Yeah.
He was really upset.
Yeah, he was.
Very upset. He's all they had to do was take the time to call.
You'd have gone and
I went
gotten
down
it.
and got
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I would have kept it.
Yes.
Yeah.
How in the world do you do something like
They're
that?
pity.
No, they're clueless. Like last night, 3 errors in 1 inning. They won. But like the guy rounded first base, the play was right in front of them. They didn't cut it, and they still picked them off at first base behind them.
And
That's
errors.
an every night thing. Too.
They
It's not
make
like it's
so many errors. I've never seen an outfield in Major League Baseball make as many errors as the Pirate outfielders make.
Well, I moved Cruz to first base.
I said that last year, did I not?
Why,
6-7.
why can't somebody watch and say he's not an outfielder, he's not a shortstop? Move him to first base. Jeez, oh man.
I told you he's going to plow over one of the. Now, it just take a few weeks. Be patient. He's going to run over somebody on one of those pops between people, and that's going to be the end of their year.
Now, I hear some of these Pittsburgh writers saying, "Well, maybe they should fire Derek Shelton." Why? Who? I don't. Who are you going to bring?
I've said that a lot. I don't care who's
and do what?
I don't care who's manager.
But they spend Georgia free agency $14 million, like nothing.
They spent more when Clint was there 12 years ago.
And he was a good manager, and they ran him up.
By email, they fired him, nevertheless.
All right, National Hockey League depends to finish 7th place in the Metro Division and with a losing record and out of the playoffs for a third straight year. However, there's little hope here, I see, with an influx of young and talented players. The rookie forward, Rutger McGroarty, who's out now with an injury. He's 21. Vili Kuvanen, he's just 21. A young star goalie down in the minors, Sergei Murshikov, he's 20. Harrison Brunicki, 20. And Tanner Howe, 19. So I think there's a future there. It's going to take another year or two, but they're bringing in enough young players and making a transition.
That's interesting. You see that way, Eddie. I see they're good old players leaving.
Yes,
if they were younger, the older players were younger.
Yeah.
I'd say I don't see the hope. I see other teams getting better more than the Bengals. I hope you're right.
I do too. I'm just see some of these younger players, and I mean those ages 19, 20, 21. I'm looking at a 2-year period where they're going to have to grow. But you're right. Letang and it's time that trio there.
They're great,
Crosby,
great players, not good players. They were great players, but
yeah,
it's bad
they've
timing.
Been together 19
it's bad
years.
timing. That's all.
You get 3 guys 38 years of age. It's time for a change.
I would agree.
Chuck Noll made that mistake. Remember, we talked about it a number of times. Yeah. He couldn't let go of those guys, and then it took the Steelers 20 years to recover. I want to mention the passing of former general manager Ray Shero, 62. He was the architect of the 2009 Stanley Cup championship team. Even though he wasn't there later on when they won 2 more cups, he put together that team.
I think that is the underrated part of sports. Who's in the front office can recognize talent. Who can draft? Who can get people in all sports? Especially with the Steelers. Steelers do that so poorly. They talk about all this other stuff. They don't find the right players.
And a good point. Let's lead into that. We're talking about the Steelers, the NFL draft, which we know. I don't care how many tests you put them through. It's not an exact science. If it was, we get Professor Joe Bob from Carnegie Mellon to do the draft.
Well, listen to this. They had a guy on the other day, first rounder from Georgia. He was in one of the interviews. You ready for the question? Describe the color purple to a blind person. Now tell me.
That makes him a good football player.
I don't know.
I honestly can't.
That makes him a good football player.
My late high school coach, Paul Urim, who coached for the Steelers, I tell this story every year at draft time. The scouts would come in. Chuck, we got a guy. He bench pressed 290 pounds 25 times. He leaped over a river bridge. Chuck Noll said, okay, put the film on. Let me see if he can play.
Still number 1 on my list.
Yeah. Well, we watch him. What's Mel Kiper's percentage of selection? 23% for the.
And he gets paid big.
And he gets
big
paid
money. And
we should get paid too.
He studies it every day.
Yeah,
he studies it. The film should not lie, and the competition of the film. If you're playing against great competition and you're successful, I'll take it.
We watch as much college football as he does. And see the players. All right, Lambeau Field will be the site of the draft, Green Bay. The Steelers are number 21 pick, no number 2. Please don't take a quarterback just to take a quarterback, even if Rodgers says no to a deal. And I'm ready to tell Rodgers, thank you.
Every Steelers fan is.
Their primary need to me is defensive line. My choice is Derek Harmon out of Oregon. He's a 6'5", 300-pounder with explosive speed, athletic ability. What do you guys look for in the first pick for them?
I think they get one of the Michigan linemen. That's what
they got studs there. They get 2 of them. Yeah. Either one of them I would be happy with.
Yeah. So would I. They need a defensive line right off the bat. That's what I would take. Eddie, what's interesting about this draft is everybody's trying to trade
backwards.
Yeah.
Because there's no good players. It's a weak draft, and nobody wants to get stuck with the second, third, fourth, fifth pick.
I think all the strengths are on defense.
Yeah, and they're not great. They're
Yeah.
there are no Joe Greens in this draft.
Their number 3 pick, I have this kid. No one talks about him too much. Darian Porter, Iowa State cornerback. He's 6'2", 200. And number 4, I like the running back R.J. Harvey out of University of Central Florida. He set all their records. He's one of those guys. He's 5'8", 204. You can't see him coming through the line, and he runs a 4.47.
There are a lot of runners. The kid from Iowa I thought was fantastic.
Yes.
I mean, everyone knows about
Johnson.
the Boise kid, you know.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of runners, and they tend to get them later rounds.
Yeah, you want later rounds.
Yeah.
I've said that for
Right.
There's no question on my mind. For every
Ton of running backs.
for the kid for the Eagles.
Yeah, Saquon. For
Yeah.
every Saquon,
Yeah.
there's 15.
There's other guys. Yeah,
there's
If
10
it's a Saquon,
Mosters. Yeah, right.
Get somebody else.
Now, number 5, if there's a quarterback to pick, I would take Will Howard, Ohio State, 6'4", 235. He's more of a quarterback like Mason Rudolph.
Very similar.
Same
to him.
stature, very similar.
Uh-huh.
And now let's look at the rest of the NFL. Here's my top 10 picks. You guys jump in. Number 1, Tennessee. I see them taking quarterback Cam Ward out of
Definitely,
Miami.
they've already said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 2, the Browns. I think they're going to take Shador Sanders out of Colorado.
Wow, I don't think at
Yeah.
all. I think it's going to be one or two guys.
Kid from Penn State.
Yeah, it's going to be.
You think the kid from Penn
pass
State?
rusher from Penn State or the.
Well, I have
wide
the
receiver.
Giants taking Abdul Carter,
Okay.
Yeah,
number 3.
yeah.
The Patriots, number 4. I have them taking wide receiver Travis Hunter out of
I
Colorado.
think Hunter's going to go to the Browns. That's
They're
what I
my surprise team next year.
And the guy you're talking
think.
about,
You like the Pats pick?
Yes.
do you? And number 5, the Jaguars. I looked them to take Mason Graham, the defensive
That's the one
tackle
I was talking
out of Michigan.
If I was going to
Yeah.
trade up, if
Yeah.
I was going to trade up, that's why I trade up for him, Steve.
And here's an interesting pick. I see the Raiders taking Jalon Walker, the edge rusher of Georgia, put him on one side, Max Crosby on the other.
I think they're taking the kid from Boise.
The running back,
Yeah.
Ashton Gianni.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Number 7, the Jets. I have them taking tight end Tyler Warren out of Penn State. Number 8, the Panthers.
That's
wide-
my favorite guy in the draft.
Oh, yeah.
Of all the players I think can't miss,
Warren.
it's Warren from Penn State.
And here's the receiver I love. Ted McMillan, Arizona,
He's big.
6'5", 220.
Oh,
I
man,
think he
can
goes
he-
to the
hey,
Panthers.
that guy
He
can-
catch
Yes.
and do everything.
Reminds
Yes.
me of Fitzgerald, the catch
Yeah.
anything comes near him.
Here's another good receiver. See the Saints at number 9 taking Luther Burden. He's a speed guy.
I
Okay.
think they're going to take quarterback.
Sanders.
Do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I
do
think they're going
too.
to take quarterback.
And I see the Bears taking the best defensive back rated, Will Johnson out of Michigan.
Was he good too? Jeez.
Now, in the division, I see the Bengals at number 17. I see them taking defensive end James Pierce Jr. out of
Pass rusher
Tennessee.
blocks.
He's 6'5", 250. They could pair him on the other
Yeah.
side with
He
Hendrickson.
gets after the quarterback.
He's a quarterback guy.
And
Guru.
the Ravens at number 27, I see them taking wide receiver Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State.
You know, I thought that's the Steelers were going to get, but I see they're going to get a defensive lineman. I think
They need a defensive lineman. And
You
then-
know, you can't spend what they spend on defense and get no results from it.
ain't the truth.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I
I
understand
agree.
spending. First of all, it's an offensive league. We've come to admit that they're still spending their money on defense. Well, something's not right there because when they play a good team, they give up 30 points.
Always.
Wow.
Always.
Look at the last 5 games. They just shut out Watt. He just gets shut out.
Yeah.
Well, that's what. Remember 2 years ago, I said I'd sign him because that's how great he was. He'd be up for me right now. I try to trade him. Or get
I wanted to
somebody.
trade him last year, and you guys said
I
no.
want to trade him out. 'Cause I
I-
thought he was still great,
No,
but he really went downhill at the end of last year. Andy.
Now,
Badly.
now, I think your best trade for him is to a contending team, like maybe
They need one guy like
the
that.
49ers or
I know
someone
what you
like
mean.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
So to maybe get back your number 2 pick.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
No,
you get a number
no,
1
you're not
for
getting
him
number one.
anymore.
You're not getting number
Hey,
one.
you know what, too? Now that Garrett got that contract, he wants 40 plus.
They all want that.
You know, you could have
they
gotten
compare
him.
themselves to
Yeah, you
somebody
could
else.
have gotten him a little cheaper before.
Right.
And now the same with the kid from Dallas from Penn State.
Well, then after defensive lineman, they definitely need another offensive tackle. They need
need so
a
much,
running
Eddie.
back. They
They
need
need so much,
they
Eddie.
need a lot. Yes. So we'll see here coming up.
Yeah.
Hey, talk about money, guys. You know, sometimes you look outside and say, boy, it's dark over there. We're headed for a storm. Here comes the gathering storm in college sports.
It's already
This is from
here.
the Post-Gazette, April 6th.
I think we're in the middle of the storm.
Yeah. The case known as House versus NCAA will permit Division I schools to compensate student athletes directly. How many times we said that? They're going to pay the quarterback like they pay the plumber and the professor in the history department for the use of their names, images, and likeness, NIL, and establish a $2.8 billion fund for back pay to former athletes. How about us three? Do we come into that?
Yeah.
Can we get some of that money?
A little cash here.
Now, they're going to pay tens of millions of dollars annually to the athletes on scholarship. All of this now under the thumb of U.S. District Judge Claudia Wilkin out of Oakland, California. She hasn't rendered her decision.
She can throw a wrench in it all.
Football.
Yeah, she can throw a wrench in it all.
Now, each school, listen to this, they will be allowed up to $20.5 million per year for their athletes starting this year. Now, the current Division I, let's look at how they cut the pie. No question. Football gets 75% of the pie. Men and women's basketball gets 20%. All other sports, 5%. So just looking locally, can Pitt, WVU, and Duquesne, can they compete?
Not a chance.
No.
Not a chance.
How about...
More importantly, the women are going to be crying. They're going to say, wait a minute. Why are they getting all the money?
What's going to happen? What's the most successful sport at Pitt?
It's going to happen.
What's
volleyball? I know.
Women's volleyball.
Yes.
They get 5%.
I said they're going to say, wait a minute, that's
Sooner
not right.
or later, they've been to 3 Final Fours.
Hey, I got to tell you, this is tough. Let me explain. The center at Youngstown, 4 points a game, just got 600,000 from Southern
Gabe
Cal.
Dines.
And when I tell you he can't play,
Look at Robert Morris, 26-8. All 5 starters are gone.
Oh yeah,
Jaden Lowe of Pitt.
4,000. Is it 4,000, George? 4,000. Is it 4,000? 400. How many's in the portal?
4,000.
That's right, for 4,000.
No, 4,000.
4,000 in the basketball.
With these changes, it'll look like rush hour at the New York subway.
But what hurts on this thing whole is what bothers me is the people who said this is not going to change anything. You know, they're going to have little cheerleading camps and they're going to have basketball camps. They didn't look through it and say, wait a minute. They're going to make 2.5 average. The best player, 2.5 million average.
What's Manning getting in Texas this year? 3 million?
6.
Oh, he's 6.
So, okay.
6.
Yeah.
Now Pitt Athletics 23-24. Listen to this. They took in $138.6 million. They broke even.
Yeah.
Most of them do. If they break even, they're happy.
There's like 10 or 15. We've talked about that before.
You want to name the top schools? Ohio State, Texas, Notre Dame.
That's who they are.
Michigan.
Same ones.
Yeah.
And they're going to get richer.
And that's why they're going to be
getting
good.
richer, exactly.
Michigan's already spent $8.8 million for basketball.
And it just ended a week
It just
ago.
finished a week ago.
No.
So Pitt's lost 5 basketball players. They're bringing in 4 or 5 more. Andy told now Robert Morris has to go out and recruit a whole new team.
He's recruiting Pitt's second team. That's what he's recruiting.
Yeah.
It's just a crazy time. I don't know. Nah. You're going to have these contracts for the athletes because I'm going to give you $4 million.
Yeah.
You got to sign for 3 years.
You're going to have a contract of some form to keep some semblance of order as
I've been
far
saying
as
that forever.
who's coming back.
And here's the other issues. With foreign athletes coming here,
Sure.
paying them, where
They're not allowed, by the way. They're not allowed to pay them. Supposedly, NIL, they cannot pay foreign-born athletes.
Okay, so now you have all these
Are we believing that?
all these issues, all these taxes. Somewhere along the line, get me a lawyer.
Yeah.
Get me a lawyer. So now the lawyers are going to come in.
No,
as
seriously,
part of this.
Eddie. You're fooling. I was telling Al on the way down there, this kid from Tennessee overplayed his hand. You can't have your dad negotiate. You need I mean, this
In today's world, that's what
you
it
talk
is.
about agents, you know, sometimes there's an unsavory thing, but the truth of the matter is you're not equipped to go in there and negotiate.
So at Pitt, with their 412 program, if you want to be a member, they're asking you to contribute $20,000, not one time, every year, $20,000. So the new athletic director, Ellen Green, who's been at Tennessee, who's been at Auburn, he says that's their number one priority. Okay, where? Jeff Capel said, I need more NIL money. Coach, okay, you and everyone else in the world needs more money. So in the SEC now, what are they doing? They're going to tax the students, surcharge them,
Yeah.
and so they get money.
They're always ahead.
And,
SEC always jumps ahead. They're
well,
always ahead.
they've been doing NIL money
done.
for what?
Yeah.
For
for 50 years.
Yeah, that's
Only
why
was
I
underneath
get
the table.
I get a charge out of those guys. They don't like how it was. They didn't mind when they had it all. They liked
Saban
it
was
fine.
one of those.
Saban liked it fine when
Yes.
he had it all.
Hey guys, I want to ask you something. Just recently, I noticed, and kind of a surprise to me, not big, but the NBA TV ratings and National Hockey League TV ratings are plummeting. I'm not so surprised with the NBA because it's just come down, shoot a three. You might as well just start 4 guards and a small forward.
They
You don't
do.
even need a power forward.
Well, they do.
They've killed the big guy in the game, and there's no defense. The former players are saying they need to get back to playing defense. So I don't know if these ratings are ever going to come back. Young people aren't watching these games. I'm a little bit surprised about the National Hockey League taking a plummet also.
It's a niche sport. You can't find them, though. So you can't find a hockey unless you're a big-time fan. ESPN has some games on.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it's not easy to find. I came across the other night, Devils playing somebody. I didn't know what station it was.
They're on TBS also. There are more venues that, like Al's grandsons, they watch on their phone. They watch little snippets. It's different than it was. You have to be careful with those numbers because the bottom line would, like, the young people watch it differently.
And they're not counted, right?
And also, Eddie, there's just too many games on.
Too many. And
My gosh.
the WNBA, they lose about $40 million a year. And they want a new contract, and they want bigger contract. And they're sponsored, subsidized by the NBA.
They have a $2 billion TV contract coming in, but all their players, but about 20, will be free agents, and it'll be just like starting over every
Where's the
year.
money coming from?
Well, you know it's coming from
Hey,
TV.
as we close, special thanks to Jerry DiPaolo of the Trib Review on his retirement after 32 years. It was always great to have Jerry on a show. He talking about
guy.
football and basketball.
He's a gracious guy, humble.
Straight shooter.
And I love everything about Jerry.
Absolutely. He's our guy.
Yep. And congratulations to him. And hope he enjoys his
he will.
retirement.
Yeah.
That's it for us. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their networks get busy, calling and texting wins, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.